shade neither light purple or dark purple. When I have an or, I keep all the shading. And there's no way to write this as a single sentence like we did with the and, where you were shading in between. If you have a split shading, you have to keep your answer with the word or in between. Okay. Yes, sir?
For ors, do you usually shade on the outside and
Ors are usually shaded on the outside, but not always. Get your full solution and see what happens. Sometimes you'll end up with you'll end up with shading just on one side, because if I hadn't flipped my sign here, if that had been a positive 2 instead of a negative 2, and I hadn't flipped my sign and x had been less than negative 2, then I would have been shading from here all the way to the left, and I wouldn't have that purple shading over here. So it would have just been all numbers less than negative 2. So sometimes an or will come out to be something surprising. Sometimes an and will come out to be the whole graph shaded. So, you know, look carefully before you decide. In Algebra 1, we said, oh, ors are always shaded on the outside, ands are always shaded on the inside. That's because we didn't give you any harder problems. Okay? Yes? So, going back to the first one. So if we had put an and here, an or here, sorry, my shading would have been the purple, dark purple shading, the light purple shading, and I can be wearing a black shirt or a red shirt. So if this was an or, what would my answer be? Be all the shading. My answer would be all real numbers. If that one had been an or. Because I've shaded everywhere. Okay? So sometimes an or can be, shading the whole graph. Okay? So examine what you've got. Do your graph, look at it visually, and then decide really what your answer should be. Okay? Algebra 3 things just get a little more complicated. All right, then you have a couple of word problems with inequalities. A strip of wood is to be 17 centimeters long with a tolerance of 0.15 centimeter. That means it doesn't have to be exactly 7 centimeters long. It can be 7 centimeters, 7.15 centimeters is how long it could be. Or it could be 6.85 centimeters, or somewhere in between. So that's what that tolerance means. So, I've got my strip of wood, should measure out to 17, but it's okay if it's a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. It can be anywhere in between. Minus 0.15, that would be 6.85, to plus 1.5, 7.15. Okay? How much should be trimmed from a strip 18 centimeters long to allow it to meet specifications? Okay, so I have an 18 centimeter piece of wood, and I'm going to take some off of it. So I'll subtract x. And the length has to be between 17 plus the 0.15 and 17 minus the 0.15. And I think it could be exactly, I think it could go all the way. Yes, sir. Oh, thank you. All right. So first thing I'll do is, simplify this thing a little bit. 16.85 less than or equal to 18 minus x less than or equal to 17.15. Next step. This is an and it's written like we ended up on the very first inequality with the and. So when I write an and all in one sentence, and we did these in Algebra 1 also, whatever you do to simplify the middle, you do to both the inside and the left side and the right side of the equation. Inequality, sorry. So I want to get my x isolated, so I'll subtract 18 from the middle, subtract 18 from the left, and subtract 18 from the right. I got negative x left here. What's 16.85 minus 18? Maybe somebody could do that in their head. If you can't, yes, that's it. So is it 1.15? Negative 1.15. Okay. Okay, what's 17.15 minus 18? Negative 0.85. Okay. So now I found that negative x is between negative 1.15 and negative 0.85. I want to find positive x. So I'll multiply negative x times negative 1 and get positive x. Multiply negative 1.15 times negative 1 and get positive 1.15. Multiply negative 0.85 times negative 1 and get positive 0.85. And what else do I do? Switch them all. Sorry. Come on. What's your problem? Oh, I know. It's just timing out. I just got to set the timer for longer. Sorry. My bad. It's coming. I think. Come on. One more. One more time. Come on. I know you can do it. Come on. Last time. It's up here, but it's not on my computer, so I like it on my computer too. Now it's going to disappear from that one. Okay. All right. So the amount I need to trim is between 0.85 and 1.15 centimeters, and I don't know why it died again. Stop it. Jeez. It's coming. It's going to do it this time. Just do it. You just think this is so funny. Okay, it'll come back to my computer in a second. then I will finish the problem. Or not. All right. So, all right. So we need to trim. Nope, come on. You can do this. Trim. There we go. 0.85 to 1.15 centimeters. Yay, problem done.